Oh, something different.
Present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Reasonable, logikos, the Greek word from which we get logical. And so we recognize that presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice is our logical response. But it's not just logical, it's the logical service. Again, we see a Greek word, latria, which speaks of service of any kind. But in the Old Testament, it was used to describe the worship of God according to the prescribed Levitical ceremonies. So, in other words, presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice is logical worship. This is real worship. So often we relegate worship to simply the lifting of the hands, or the bowing of the head, or the bending of the knees. So often we go through these motions, and some of these are routines that we have learned. Some of these are emotional responses in the moment. But God says that's not the worship He's looking for. Sure, the lifting of the hands, the bowing of the head, the bending of the knees, the lifting of the voices are acceptable to God if they are manifestations of real worship. So is it possible that we could do all of that and it's not real worship? Yes. For real worship is worship with your life. Living a submitted, sacrificed life to God is real worship. That's why He said that they that worship Him must worship in spirit and in truth. Living a life that is governed by the Spirit. Living a life that is governed and patterned according to the truth of His Word. The greatest form of worship is absolute surrender and submission. That's what He's looking for. A life of sacrifice. A life that shows that we acknowledge Him and accept Him as Lord. For how can we truly worship when we make the decisions regarding our lives? When we do not pay attention, we disregard His plans, His word, his will. If we do that, then he is not Lord. If we choose other things over his will, then he is not Lord. If we please ourselves above pleasing him, then he is not Lord. If it is not that his will is done, but it's our will that is done, then he is not Lord. And if he is not Lord, then he is not worshipped. So, let us give to him true worship. It's the only logical response to his goodness and his mercies. Let us worship him with a submitted life, a life lived on the altar. That's the worship with which he is well pleased. Let's not just go through the forms and routines, but let the lifting of the hands, the bowing of the head, the bending of the knees be a manifestation of a life that's submitted to the King of Kings. God bless you. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And for more, join us at 9 a.m. at 10 Union Square, Crossroads, Kingston, Jamaica. If you can't be there in person, join us virtually via YouTube Live.